Hey, and welcome to your practice. So I'm going to challenge you to disrupt your routine and set up right up against a wall. I know it's a little bit of a pain, but I think it's really going to be worth it. We're not using it for alignment. We're not using it remedially, although the wall is great for both of those things. We are using it really to deepen the practice and just to get creative. So clear out some space, set yourself up, and then meet me in a standing position. Let's get soft in the knees. Just a little bit. Connect to the body and breath. As we develop breath, let's also bring prayer hands into our hearts, and I'll offer this shared intention. And that is that sometimes I think the mark of a true peaceful warrior is the ability to have compassion even for those who challenge us, even for those we might perceive as an enemy. And so can we look deep within and see if we can find compassion, empathy, even love for the people who challenge us most. Take a moment, make it yours. And we'll seal it with sound. Taking a breath in. Find a healing vibration. Releasing your hands. Let's get a little heat right away. Just rotating side to side. Let your arms be floppy. But your stomach is going to start getting firm. In a moment, we'll add Kapalbhati breath. Find that fiery heat of transformation. It's going to be some forceful exhales. We'll do rounds of something like 30 pretty rapidly. And then we'll pause between rounds. Getting ready for it, take an inhale. And go ahead. Recover with Ujjayi breath and relative stillness. I'm going to do that just once more today. We're really looking for an internal fire. And same thing, we're going to start with a kind of chug-a-chug, locomotive, pace breath, and then we'll build it. And we'll build its pace until it's pretty rapid. So finding an inhale. Go ahead. Recover with Ujjayi. One more good slow in and out breath. Let's stand and face the wall. You want to be at least an arm's length for now. Feet, hips distance apart. Draw your arms out wide. Lift your heart, point the palms up. On an exhale, back, set the hands together. Tuck the tail, round a bit. Empty. 2 more times. Inhale, open. Exhaling, empty. Last one like that, open up. Exhale, empty out, pull the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, open. And then sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, get your hands to the wall, shoulders distance apart. You can step back as much as you need to. We're gonna let the heart hang down. Now, if you want to keep a little active in this, you'll draw the palms or the fingers downward, just energetically. They're not actually moving. So there's an engagement behind the arms, even as you let the heart hang low. Let's hang out, breathing well. Just one more breath cycle. Then take it all the way into a fold. This first one, hanging like a rag doll, nice and passive. Release tension from the neck. Take your right hand to your left ankle, pull, fold. Left hand to right ankle, pull and fold. Come out onto fingertips to floor or shins, lengthen. And exhale, step the left foot back. You're going to rock just twice. Set the back knee down or hover it for a challenge. Reach your arms up. It's just an in-breath. Ex-breath, hands to the ground. Step to downward facing dog. This time waving forward. Inhale, plank. Lower on a 3 count. 3, 2, all the way to the ground. 1. Lift for cobra. Exhale, dip low. Come over knees. We'll grab a child's pose, reaching forward. Walk the hands over to the right. And then over to the left. And through center, hands toward the top. They'll give yourself some space from the wall. Come back to downward facing dog. This time make it yours. Pedal out. Do what you do. First round, come onto tippy toes, like you're plugging your legs into your hip sockets. You're gonna tiptoe, keeping the arms straight all the way to the top. As far forward as you can get. And then the heels set down. Flatten the back. Bow completely. Rise to stand. Exhale, Tadasana. Make sure you have room. Open the arms out wide, inhaling. Take them all the way up. And exhale, same thing. Tip onto the wall, hands or shoulders distance apart. Step away enough to melt the heart down. You can be energetically pushing your hands down so you engage behind the arms. And the heart melts and melts. And allow the neck to either be neutral or to let it hang. We'll do a different variation a little bit later. But for now, it's enough for the shoulders, the arms, the chest to be opening. A few more breaths. Let's fold all the way over legs for this round. Split your feet enough to wrap arms around your legs. Like you're trying to get your crown to the tops of your feet and your face through your legs. We're hanging out a few breaths. Come on to fingertips and flat back. Step the right foot toward the back. Rocking with this just twice. Either set the back knee down or let it hover for a challenge. Arms up, just an inhale. Exhale, hands to earth. Step downward facing dog. Draw the tail under, wave forward, plank pose, inhaling. Exhale, 3 count to lower all the way to belly. 3, 2, 1. Lift for a luxurious cobra. Exhaling, dip. Tuck toes, find downward facing dog. Again, feeling around. Option to rock your hips from side to side. You can push into forefinger and thumb so hard you actually end up rolling weight toward the pinky edge of your palms. Okay, a little different this time on toes, except we're going to circle the left leg up and around to step, keeping the arms and palms strong. Circle the right leg up and around to step. Circle the left leg. Circle the right. Come all the way to the top. Flat back. Fold and empty. Lift tall. Exhale, Tadasana. Okay, up in the ante a bit, sweeping your arms right up. And this time, come to the wall, but place the elbows down as well. You're going to melt the chest toward the wall. So now either your face is on the wall, or you lift your head until the chin touches the wall. So it's a lot more like puppy. You'll have to play with the appropriate distance. We're pausing for something like 6 breaths. If you're able, roll the sits bones high, push your front ribs toward the wall. We're not super warm yet. It's not going to be our deepest one. And then slide off. This time, as you fold, you're going to use the wall. So walk yourself in super close. As you bow, Roll the back right into the wall and use it like an assist. So you can actually push down into your heels to flatten your back and get it closer to you. And if you have to soften knees, absolutely okay. You just do what you can. Handful of breaths. Okay, push your way off of it. Give yourself room to gaze forward. You're going to step the left foot back. Same thing, knee down, or it hovers. Reach up for just the inhale. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Building our flow. Step the left foot about underneath your navel, maybe slightly higher than that. You're going to step up onto the wall with the right foot. It's going to be about rib height, okay? Sternum height. It's like a lunge. You're going to start like a side angle. So right arm comes in front of your body, left arm reaches up and across your ear. Then switch that. Left hand grabs the thigh, right arm reaches up like a peaceful warrior. And twice more. Exhale. Inhale, up for peaceful. Exhale. Inhale. Last time, exhale. Now, if you want to bind this or work toward bind, you can play with that. Right arm tucks under, left arm wraps around. If you can, you're grabbing left wrist. No sweat if that's not working out. Can that left shoulder draw back as you gaze toward the back of the mat? Big breathing. Totally fine to stay here. If you want to, though, heel toe away until you can work on straightening this right leg. It doesn't have to be all the way straight, of course. Just get it to a reasonable limit and we'll breathe to it. Keep opening the chest. Chance for deep breath. Arms circle big and reaching up. You're going to face this right leg and we'll fold toward it. So isolating this right side leg as you fold, left ribs travel toward the shin. Inhale, lengthen, and stand all the way up. You're going to find a twist to the right, and keep your hands low. You can wrap the right arm behind and wrap this left hand toward the outer leg somewhere, anywhere you can. Can the heart face the right side? Can you gaze behind? Keep standing tall. Let's come back to that. Sweep your arms all the way up. And then find a standing split. So that left or the right leg is going to shoot behind you. Plant the hands about 2 palms distance away from the wall. And lifting. I'm going to give you a chance to hop right up to handstand. So if that's not you, you could be hopping low. If you don't go all the way to the wall yet, you could be practicing headstand. But if you are getting all the way up to the wall, I'll encourage this variation, a split while you're up there. So the right heel comes up, and then the left foot stays low. And you're challenging yourself to stay upright, keep that top heel up there as you send the left leg lower and lower. Do your best, breathe, about 3 long breaths if you can. Okay, we're going to end up through vinyasa, so you step back, float back, do what you do. Meet you at downward facing dog. Connecting to breath. Take a small step forward. Make sure there's a bit of distance between your hands and the wall. It's there, so I'm going to encourage you to take a little handstand leap all the way up to the top of your mat. You can skip that if you wish to. I'm going to try to keep the feet crossed, do something like a tuck on my way to setting the feet between my hands. Okay, inhale, bend the knees. Go ahead. Wall's a chance to get control. Long spine, bows over legs. Rise. Tadasana. Pause and connect to breath. Let the heart slow. Okay. So this time I encourage you to take a block. If you've got one, I'm going to hold it between your palms. So inhaling, reach upward. And then exhale, take the block to the wall. Now you can either take the pinky side edge of your arms to the wall and do just what we did before. If you feel like you're needing more, take your hands to the outer edges of the block. Just be aware it could wobble on you. Keep it sturdy as you do the same thing. Face to wall, chin to wall. Maybe you take your chin off the wall. Ribs smush onto the wall, sits bones lift high. A handful of breaths. Arms as straight as you can get them. If it's too easy, go lower. Too hard, come up. And then slide off. You're going to fold over your legs. And one more time, you can bow so that your back is at the wall. This time you might challenge yourself to come even closer to the wall. Feel free to adjust anything you need to while we're there. Pressing weight into heels so you're really tipping yourself up against the wall, getting more and more length through the hold. Lengthen both legs and back. We'll inch our way off, stepping back just enough to have room for the head. You'll step the right foot back, set the knee down, or hover it as you reach up for the inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot quite a bit forward so you can launch this left foot right onto the wall, about as high as your sternum. Finding a lunge-like position. Now you take your heel in, point the bottom toes out. Treat it like it's a side angle. Put your left arm crosses in front of the belly. Right arm comes over your ear line. Establish it. Then the inhale is like a peaceful. Right arm sweeps across the belly, left arm reaches up. Inhale. Twice more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You can grab your thigh if you haven't. Inhale. And then exhale. If you wish to play with it, bind time. Keeping hips open, chest open. Look behind you if possible. Okay, any bind is a great bind. If you have the openness, you're working your hand up towards your wrist. And then, if you're still okay, you're working that right arm straight. Shoulder down away from ear. Let's breathe. Still lifting up from the low belly. Keep pushing into the wall with your foot. Two more sips of breath. Let there be warmth. One more breath. Okay, sweep your arms all the way up. You can heel toe. Oh no, I forgot something. You're going to heel toe away from the wall a little bit. Can you keep your bind or some version of it as you work towards straightening this left leg? Even if just a little bit. Find that threshold space. Keep the chest as open as you can and breathe to it. Heart is lifting up off of the thigh. Full breaths, everyone. The exhales, use the abdominal wall. One more breath cycle. Now we'll reach arms all the way up. Point the toes in, face your left leg. Keep it straight as you fold over it. Right ribs toward the shin. Come all the way up, stand tall, take the twist. If you can, wrap the left arm behind you somewhere, right arm up toward the thigh somewhere. Point your heart to the left and take the gaze behind. Stand tall as you breathe big. Strong connection through the feet, even here. Unwind, reaching up. Give yourself that standing split. Left leg sweeps behind, the hands come down. Spend a little time actively reaching left leg up as high as it can go. Okay, we're going to do the handstand again to about 1.5 palms away from the wall, I'd say. So one option is to hop up. The other option is to lean up if you want to give that a go. So you might come in a little closer with the bottom foot. It's really just trying to take like the lightest, most controlled hop you can. And if you're able to, you tip weight toward the toes, push your head into the wall to take lift off. Get that handstand and the right leg comes low again. Keep the left heel glued to the wall. Your arms and shoulders growing longer. Trying to create this active split for 3 long breaths. I know it's a lot of work in the arms. Let's breathe through it. And then slowly through your vinyasa. Meeting together, downward facing dog. Let's get a little something. Send the right knee behind your right wrist. Set yourself up in pigeon. And then bow forward. This is like rest for the back at the same time that we open hips. Let the heart slow because I want to do more with us. If you like the twist, take the twist right away. Keeping the right side heavy. And stay long enough to slow the heart, not long enough to cool down. So just a few more breaths. Climb back up onto hands, step to downward facing dog. Get a little heat in between, take your flow. Downward dog, send the left knee behind the left wrist. Set yourself up in pigeon. Folding forward or even threading the needle. Looking for sweet openness in the outer left hip, even the low back. Climb back up, plant hands, tuck the back toes, step into downward facing dog again. Make sure you got at least 2 palms away from the wall because you want to give yourself some room as you do another leap up. So I encourage you to try that tuck again. You could either cross feet or for a little more of a challenge, uncross the feet, keep them nice and close together. Take a small cheat step forward onto toes, bend your knees. I think it helps to peek forward, keep your knees in towards your chest. Go ahead. This allows us to find control
or at least do our best to find control as we slowly lower feet between the hands. Lengthen. Hey, exhale, whatever happened. Do that one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Let it go. Find the humor. And then come all the way up. Neutral Tadasana. Take a second. Connect to breathing. Let's keep working that puppy sort of shape. This time, grab 2 blocks if you have them. One could do. So if you're very open, you're going for deepest height. Somewhere in between is medium, or you can go the lowest. Okay. Let's go take this behind the heart, maybe just a little lower than that. Get your seat on the ground. Seat on the wall. And then grab hold of this block. Alternatively, you could have a strap here. And you're going to reach your arms up. Try to keep the elbows straight. And it's going to be just little pulses. I'm going to hold the last one. I'm going to go for 8 times. So take an inhale. Pulse toward the wall. Go ahead. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hold for just 4, 3. Do your best. 2 and 1. Come off. Shake it out. Recover. And we'll flip around to face the wall. Once again, reach your arms up. This time as you exhale, find standing split. Left leg lifts up. You're pretty close to the wall this time. So you can imagine that left heel is going to try to get the wall. Now, it may not be anywhere close. We're just not going to judge ourselves. Just going to let it happen. If it's helpful to tip your back into the wall, you can do that. A few breaths. Okay. Use your strength in the palms to push yourself out. Take a slow step back. Set the back knee down or hover it. It's that big inhale, heart opening. Exhale, hands to earth. Find downward facing dog. Connect to breath. Step the left foot quite a bit forward. Maybe it's more like underneath the sternum. Step that right foot up on the wall as high as your sternum. Return to this lunge momentarily. This time, hook onto that right leg. Sweep your left arm up. And find a twist. Send that right or left forearm around the right thigh as you look behind. Now, we're pretty pliable, I reckon, by now, so if you want to work on a bind, this is a good place to do it. Wiggle that left hand underneath you. Wiggle the right hand into place. You can always take a strap in your left hand and kind of whip it, but that might get frustrating. So just find a depth that kind of works. And we'll take big breaths. Okay, so if you want to try it, you'd straighten that right leg. Some of you will even come off of the wall, but you can always use it to hot potato. Okay, let's see what that's like. I'll give it about 30 seconds. And unwind it, reach on up. And we'll exhale. You're going to sweep this right leg behind. Take your hands about a hand's distance away this time. You're going to do yet another split, except this time, yet another handstand. So this time, let's get both heels way up there. If you prefer, you can be doing forearm stands. This is another great opportunity. Okay, if you wanted to try that press up, the one-legged press up, go right ahead. Back of the head touches the wall. As you lean in, got to push into the palms like crazy. Come all the way up. Get super straight. Just for alignment, drop your head and then drift your gaze back toward between the thumbs. Can the shoulders get longer, taller? Can the heels crawl up? Taking 3 breaths, squeeze into center line. So much weight in the fingertip, pointer finger and thumb that you roll weight to the outer edges of your palms. That gives you that external rotation through the upper arms. Kicks on the serratus, takes a little pressure off the shoulders, reduces impingement, and one more breath in and out. All right, bend both knees. Can you lower slowly? Feet between your hands. You can always get your head on the wall for help. Take a squat to recover. Feet spread wide. You can roll out your wrists. Take the backs of the hands together, elbows down. Little downtime. All right, shake it out. Okay, this time stand all the way up, reach high. And then neutral Tadasana. Let's get one more puppy style at the wall. And then take your blocks. All right, this one is not for everyone. That's when I invite you to take, actually it would just be one block. And you take your chin to the low portion, totally toward the edge of your chin, so you don't want to cut off your circulation, your blood flow, or your breath. So it would look like this, arms up, chin up. Like I said, that's not for everyone. So if that's not for you, consider taking a block in each hand, and then you get to just play around with what feels best. Okay. It's basically our pinnacle effort with puppy though. Keep that in mind. I'm asking for roughly 6 breaths. Do your best. Okay, come off, check in. If you need a counter, you could roll your chin down or roll the spine. One way or the other, let's just move right into our forward fold. You have the option, once again, to work yourself so close to the wall, the closest yet, and it's the last time you'll do it. You got to be willing to press into your heels, to push yourself up against the wall. Keep the legs split. Maybe your head can poke through. No worries if not. loosen up, step back just enough.
Find Tadasana.
Once again, reach your arms up. This time as you exhale, find standing split.
The right leg lifts. Working your top heel as close as you can get to the wall. Of course, it doesn't matter how far you get as long as you find a fruitful edge.
I'm going to step your right foot back. Set your knee down or let it hover. Reach up for your inhale. Exhale, hands plant, downward facing dog. Right foot steps about halfway up, maybe more than that. Launch, so left foot steps right on the wall, about sternum height. Okay. You're going to stand super tall. Take your twist to the left. Left arm wraps behind, right hand travels down this outer thigh. You might really find that that is enough to work with, or it's a chance to find bind without as much balance element. Once you find it, full deep breathing. We'll say 3 more breaths. Heart lifting high, that left hip kind of shooting low. Empty out. See if you can work towards straight with the left leg. Maybe onto tippy toes. Maybe you hot potato the wall with those left toes. You stand up and balance. Maybe you opt out of that. About 30 seconds. Ten more seconds. And then foot lands, unwind, reach up tall. Find that standing split. Left leg lifting, hands low. Same thing, you can work your way into that one-legged press if you wish to. Really helps to use the back of your head up against the wall. I find maybe a palm's distance works best, and you don't want the right foot too far away, so wiggle it in nice and close. Lean in, press like crazy through your palms. Come all the way up, drop the head just briefly to get a nice long line. Then gaze between your thumbs. And slowly bend the knees, feet on the wall. Feel like you have control, you might hover the knees. Slowly lower feet between your hands. Take your squat. Roll out the wrists. This time we'll actually sit all the way down. Take a Baddha Konasana, slide the pubic bone towards your heels. If you want to add a wrist recovery element, kick the backs of your hands down as you fold. come all the way up.
Okay. Let's get into a forward fold. We're going to end up with some back bends. So if you know you're very open, possibility to take a block on the other side of your feet between you and the wall at any distance. Still aiming to reach the block of the wall, or use that block under your seat. Never judging where we're at. Just always appreciating this body, giving back to it with this practice. Reach your arms up, lock thumbs, lift the heart. And fold. And lengthen spine, come all the way up to sit. You're gonna come onto the belly, facing head to wall. We'll move into locust first, mostly for activation. So take your arms alongside your body, feet hips distance or together for more of a challenge. With the inhalation, lift everything you can. Go ahead, keeping legs straight. 5 breaths total. Last breath. And then a complete rest. You can choose, rock out your hips, take it easy here, or take a child's pose in between. Okay, next up, we got 2 more back bends. We're going to come close to the wall. So I got 2 options for you. Please take a pick. 1, this is I think maybe the better feeling option, which is to be on your knees and then to drag yourself down, a lot like what we've been doing, or maybe with a little less intensity at this point, but still really getting into that thoracic spine nicely. Other way, I think it's a little more challenging, but it might be more satisfying in some ways too, is to sidle up real close, like an up dog or a cobra. Feet hips distance, as close as you're willing and able to get. And then you'd reach your arms up, aiming to get length as you lift. So if you're looking for even more from this, you could bend your elbows, even lift your face off. Totally up to you. I don't want you hurting yourself. Do what feels right. You got 5 breaths. Okay, inch your way out. Slow is good. So I'll get a child's pose in between that one. So arms could go right between your legs, knees split. If you need even more flexion, you could roll onto your back and take your knees alongside your ears. You do have 1 more back bend, but this is like recovery. Okay, find a neutral position. Just check in, be honest. Where are you at? What are you craving? Got 1 more back bend and 2 possibilities. 1 is to take your head toward the wall,
we're going to climb up to wheel. And as we've done before, you'll work on pressing your heart right into the wall. And you can do that by pushing into your heels, almost straightening your legs as you do that. Okay, so that's option 1. Option 2 is to come back to your belly, if you didn't mind that sensation, to get up close and personal with Paul the Wall. But it's totally all right to keep your feet as wide as the mat. Now you bend your knees and go for bow. 1 or 2 of you out there know how to reverse your grip. Okay, probably doing that one at a time. You would lift your head and scoot your elbows up, but we're not expecting that today by any means, unless you love these back bends and have been doing them for a long time. If you get your bow, kick away from the wall. See if you can get your heart off the wall. Got 3 more breaths. Stay longer if you want to. Okay. Coming off, slower is better. Okay, move to neutral. And then to recovery. Child's pose works. So does rolling onto your back and rolling the knees by your ears. And taking about 8-10 breaths, recovery. Keep control as you roll out if you've been on your back. And we've made our way to final relaxation. Of course, you can keep going if you're if you're feeling it. But if you're ready to call it a practice, take your legs up the wall as an option. Get your seat up there good and close for the most support possible. Be as passive as you can through the legs. That might mean legs straight. That might mean the legs bend and collapse. Just do what's going to be most healing to you and your body. I will wake you in about 5 minutes. Just acknowledge the temperature around you, feeling of the atmosphere. Coming back into breath. And before we get up, let's recall the intention you set. We'll roll our way up into seated. Thank you so much for being here. I want to say hi to Yvette. Thinking of you all the time. So glad you're here. So glad you're here, everyone. See you soon. Be well.